So, this show is pretty good. Only 8 episodes. Each episode is only 13 minutes. Each episode is very different. Some of them, though, have a bit of a Rick and Morty animation style. Not all of them, but some of them. And some of them even, kind of remind me just straight up of Rick and Morty. Like, animation style-wise, plot-wise, character-wise. They just didn't do the best with some of the episodes. For example, first episode, Laser Baby's Days Out. That one was fine. That was their own animation style. Though they were going off OG cartoons where characters wouldn't talk as much. Just mostly relied on facial expressions. For most episode, I think about 7 minutes, there's like no violence. But then you're like, oh yeah, this is The Boys. It's probably gonna get violent soon. And it does. An animated short where pissed off soups kill their parents. That one really reminded me of Rick and Morty. Humor-wise, character-wise, some of the designs-wise, it just definitely reminded me of Rick and Morty. I'm Your Pusher was pretty decent. Boyd in 3D. I think that's the one with Butcher Frenchie. No, that's episode 3. Boyd in 3D. Honestly, don't remember. BFFs was a decent episode. Though it didn't really go off of the BFFs thing. That lasted for a while. It was just these two assholes that tried to bring in this girl because she had no friends and they wanted her to buy drugs for him. So we get like 1 or 2 scenes with him. And then later she puts shit in their coffee. Because her powers is she can control shit. Legit. Nubian versus Nubian. That was a decent episode. Though I wish they would have told us if the Hawk guy died or not, because I actually kind of got used to him and he kind of grew on me. I kind of liked him. But the daughter tried to hire him by saying, hey, what's it gonna look like if... Well, she obviously didn't do this because she's 8, but basically she did. Was, what's it gonna look like if an 8-year-old child went into your home and then said you were a pedophile? So that's how she convinces him to help her because he doesn't want to help her. And later, she tries to get them to stop beating him up by saying, hey, I made him do it. I called him a pedophile. And then like, oh, he's a pedophile. And then they just beat the crap out of him some more. We don't see him get killed. But it could happen. Well, most scenes in The Boys are on-screen kills. Besides season 3, which I won't talk about because that would be spoilers. Show's not even finished yet. And it's not about that, it's about The Boys diabolical. So, John and Sunhee. Honestly, oh yeah, now I remember it. This one really felt out of place. It felt more like a short that you would see on YouTube by an underrated creator. Because it was more of an emotional tug at your heart kind of thing. It wasn't a The Boys thing. It wasn't dark. It was kinda dark. Because there were people getting masqueraded. But anyways, it's about this girl. She has cancer. And he decides to steal some Compound V to save his wife's life. She ends up getting like these uncontrollable superpowers. She gets rid of the cancer, but it turns into this giant monster and it kills a bunch of people. And then she sacrifices herself to kill it. So then he loses his wife, not once but twice, technically. Then the episode just kind of ends. but it really didn't have anything to do with the boys at all. Some of these episodes have like nothing to do with the boys. Other ones will have some references here and there. And then other ones will just straight up be the boys episodes. It's weird. Episode 8 is the closest we got to just being the boys episode. It's the final one. We finally get to see Homelander do more. We see him for like one scene before this. I think it was in episode 2. Yes, it was. When he went to go kill all the people that killed their parents. Yeah. Anyway, we get to see a different side of Homelander. He's like nothing at all like the one in the boys in the other show. Because this is a spinoff. This is like before they get absolutely terrible. Though at the same time, though, the Deep is kicked out of the 7. So I don't understand how that works. How many times is he being kicked out of the 7 then? Because he's kicked out of the 7 in this. And in season 1, he was kicked out for being a rapist. So why was he kicked out of the 7 this time? Or is it just them trying to shove in the shows together? I don't get it. Anyway, we kind of get to see, a bit of a softer side of Homelander. He doesn't seem that bad at first. He accidentally kills someone because at this time he doesn't realize how powers work and how physics work and all that. And he just thinks he can control people. He thinks they will listen. He thinks they should fear him. But he's not exactly, as terrible yet. He's not straight up, oh, you fear me or I'll murder you. It's like, well, I'm a superhero. They should fear me, right? But they don't. So he ends up massacring a bunch of hostages. Because he goes in this blind, uncontrollable rage, kind of like Wolverine with his berserker rage. And then he wakes up and he's like, oh shit, I murdered all of them. Besides one of them, somehow. It's really only for him to see that Nora is on his side. Because she should have been dead. But she wasn't somehow. Their guts and intestines were literally everywhere and she had not a scratch on her. She was just terrified of what he did, and that was it. But yeah, it's a pretty good show. I hope season 2 is decent too. Though I hope it's more like The Boys. There was nothing wrong with what they did. It was still fun and enjoyable, but it's called The Boys. I want to watch The Boys. I would still probably watch this show if I saw it on YouTube as a trailer, and then I would get on Prime and watch it too. But it's not really that connected to The Boys that much for some episodes. Which sucks because, there's only 8 episodes.